Greetings, beauties all over the world. Okay, I'm so glad you enjoyed the Hollywood Diaries, the Tupac experience, my first Hollywood video diaries about my life before Eyes of the Scarlet Rose. So as I mentioned, I'm going to share a couple of stories and things that had happened while I was living in Hollywood. And it was crazy, and I'm so glad you guys liked the story about Tupac and the experience with the Outlaws. And yeah, so this next one, obviously you see it is titled The Boxer and the Beast. So as I was living in LA, I was living in, well, at this time, I had finished working and living in Los Feliz, and I was so then I ended up getting a job working at Marina del Rey. I'm going to share with you another story about working down there in another video because I feel like it's going to be long. This one, I want to talk about The Boxer and the Beast. So at that time, I was in Marina del Rey, and then I moved back up to West Hollywood. I was on Sunset Boulevard for a while, and then I moved to the Grove. So I was kind of doing, at that time, some temping jobs, like nanny temping jobs, until I could actually find something a little more permanent, preferably a live-in situation. So living in with a nanny job is just so much easier, especially if it's a good family, because that paying rent then in Los Angeles is one less thing you have to do. And there's so many wealthy people in Los Angeles, and having a live-in nanny is nothing for them. So anyway, so I was kind of doing some temping work, and so anyway, I got a job working for a very famous, very well-known boxer, and I'm not going to mention his name like I mentioned on the first video. I cannot remember who I signed NDAs for, like non-disclosure agreements, and I actually really like this boxer. He's retired, very wealthy, or I think he is. He was definitely living like it when I was working for them, and he was lovely, but his wife was an absolute. She, if I could describe her, she would be a cross between an ogre and the Hulk, with the personality of Darth Vader. It would have been the worst placement I had ever been in. She was the worst person I worked for. She was awful. I would describe her as another souped up broad. And I know you might be thinking that I'm a little harsh. Well, no, because if you worked for her and knew how she was awful. I had never felt more discriminated against as a domestic worker. She really made the boundaries clear that I am the woman of the household and you are the nanny. You are a domestic helper and I am beneath her. Like I was beneath her. She made that point so clear, and I worked so hard for her. She had me work so hard, and I'm gonna say like a slave. I was so worked by this woman that by the time the shift was finished, at the end of the day, I just almost crawled to my room, and I couldn't even be bothered to eat. I just had a shower and went to bed, and I just couldn't wait for the weekend because it was a 5-day live-in job. She liked a strict uniform, and let's just call her, I'm going to call her Hillary Robinson. So Hillary, oh no, you could not call her Hillary. It was Mrs. Robinson. And she's like, you can call me Mrs. Robinson. And I remember it would take me, and I am not exaggerating, it would take me 40 minutes to make one of her child's beds in the morning. And I just remember how it was, and I was just so nervous to get it right. I just wanted the bed to be right, and she was just so OCD. And so I made the bed. It took me 40 minutes, and she came in to inspect it. She tore that bed apart and told me to do it again. I could not believe it. She was just awful. She was just awful. And I just could not wait to leave this job, but the money was really good. And I just thought, right, just stick out 2 weeks and that's it. That is it. And then I remember they had another property down south, so down like near San Diego, like Laguna Beach. And then she had me like I was a furniture removalist. So I was literally carting furniture, heavy furniture, up and down this damn beach house, this house. And she had me doing and moving and putting new furniture in this house, and I'm talking heavy shit. And I'm just like, this is so up. You could not pay me enough to stay with her. And she was awful. She was so rude and so demeaning and so putting down. You know, I mean, oh my God, I just felt so sorry for whoever would be taking my place. And I feel sorry for the other domestic workers that were there. I'm just like, this bitch is just hideous. I've seen her on Facebook, and so she's obviously, you know, kind of glorified herself on there. And she comes across on Instagram like she's this really sweet, compassionate, you know, really thoughtful, empathetic kind of human being. She is anything but. But I will say her children were super sweet. Like, oh my gosh, really sweet kids. I just don't understand how people, it always seems to be the way that people that don't come from money, and I'm not saying this is the majority, but it seems to be the way that when people don't come from money, or especially women, once they acquire money, they seem to automatically give themselves a pass to treat people however the hell they want. And they do. And I know, because I've been at the other end of the stick, and I've experienced how that feels, that really degrading, belittling feeling of them making you feel this big. And you know, it's awful. And she had it, and she had that demeanor perfectly. You know, she really made a point of making that distinction and having it very obvious. And it was just abhorrent. So I went back to my apartment at the Grove, and I knew 100% after 2 weeks, like this was at the 2 week period, there was not a chance in hell I would be going back to work that week at her place. There was no way. And so she calls me up because I'm late. I had to be absolutely on time, and I always was, but she called me at like 3 minutes past 8, and she's just like, where are you? And I'm just like, I quit. And she's like, oh, well, why is that? And I said, because you are an absolute bitch. And I literally hung up the phone on her. And then I get a call from my agency like an hour later. They're like, what's going on? Why did you just quit? I'm like, are you kidding? I said, you didn't even prepare me for this woman. And you know what? It's real kind of cruel, because these agencies, they get a certain amount of commission when they place a nanny in a job. And I don't know how it works, but they definitely are scooping in a lot of money. And then the lady, you know, the agency lady, she's like, oh, well, you know, to be quite frank with you, that woman has gone through nannies like she has her underwear. And I'm just like, why would you not tell me that? Why would you, you know, why would you be basically rimming your pockets with more money? And there's no, if I had any idea what I was in for, I would never have worked for the Boxer and the Beast, because she was a beast. Unless she's had some kind of life-changing epiphany, which I highly doubt, I can't see how she would ever change. I can't see how she would ever change. It's only after that I left the job that, you know, the agency finally decides to tell me that no one likes working for her, everyone's quit, and I'm just like, wow, you didn't even tell me. And that's why they paid so well, is because obviously they knew some people will tolerate being treated like shit because of the paycheck that they're getting, and I'm not one of those. You know, I call a spade, what you see is what you get, and you could not pay me, you know, a certain amount of money to work a shitty ass job. This is why ever since I was a teenager, you know, up until my mid-20s, I could not hold down a job that I didn't enjoy. And it was very hard for me to find a job that I really enjoyed. And nanny work, it just came so naturally to me because I love kids and I really enjoyed it, and I got paid to do it, and I did my job well. And I figured, you know, if people actually treated their workers well, like domestic workers, you know, they may actually want to put in a better effort with, you know, with work and with their job, and, you know, really trying their best. But you treat them like shit, you're going to get shit in return. And really, when you think about it, these people in these powerful positions, they really are, or if they're not realizing it, they're really quite ignorant how vulnerable they become to their domestic servants and workers, because the domestic workers see everything about them on such a deep personal level. I mean, the things that I've seen are, I mean, it's just crazy. It's crazy. And, you know, so these people are kind of at the mercy of their domestic workers. So you should be treating them well. You should be taking care of them. You know, like, and there are people, I'm not one of them, but there are people that will take a nice juicy paycheck to spill all. And they have, haven't they? I mean, you only have to see that kind of like tabloid celebrity type media, how people do spill the beans and really share and exploit personal details about people's lives. And I'm not for that. I don't agree with that. You know, I definitely think there is a level of integrity that people need to keep with this kind of work. I'm not someone that would ever do something like that. That was it for me with the Boxer and the Beast. And so after that, I went back to my apartment. And actually, I ended up sharing an apartment at the Grove with this crazy bitch.
My name is Kara with a K.
And where are you from, Kara with a K?
I'm originally from Texas. Yeehaw. I live here in Hollywood now.
Kara, how old are you?
Well, I'm technically 37. I could play 27, I think, with good lighting. So, thank you, Lord.
So why do you think you're not had the break you think you've needed?
I've been waiting for you, baby. You make dreams happen. Everything he touches turns to gold. Simon, honey, I need you to put your hands all over my dreams.
It's supposed to be the other way round, Kara. You're supposed to make our dreams come true.
Buckle up, put her in neutral, and enjoy the ride, okay? Because...
Did you say put her in neutral?
You know, just sit back, relax, you know.
Okay, so I'm in first gear right now. What do I do?
Oh, okay, is this an English thing? Okay, okay, darling, what you got to do, I know that was a bad accent, don't kill me, but you basically just do this.
Yep.
Lean her back, just like maybe release a button off the notch of your belt.
I got it.
Love you, Howie.
I love you too.
Love you, love you. I really love you. Okay, just...
Likewise.
Is this moment happening right now?
Yep.
Okay, buckle up. We're going to church. We're going to church. Guys, I don't like to brag, but I did just lose 45 pounds of fat. Oh, I kept off 2.7. Because it's hard losing weight, Because when you lose weight, what they don't tell you is that it's never really lost. It's it's like a demon stalker waiting in the shadows for you to just have a moment of weakness, just like, you don't really like kale salads, do you? And I don't, because I'm from Texas, okay? You don't bring us a salad unless it's rocking a deep-fried tire on top of that salad. Tire? Can I get a witness? Yeah, that's right. You just got to be ready because you just got to stay on the grind because what it's...
Oh my God!
Look at the shoes. Look at the shoes.
I can't.
She's not. That's yo.
I didn't forget about you. Hold on, I'm coming for you, girl.
Oh, hell.
Listen, they never get a cheat day, girl. I didn't want to leave you out. Here you go. Hi.
Oh, she's got fries!
Come on, girl. You're so gorgeous. Howie, are we into it? You want one? Listen, you look very hydrated. I'm a little parched, baby, so...
Howie?
You're like this hilarious buffet. You're not only funny, but your physical comedy, your props. I loved it. And thanks for the snacks.
You are honest and true, but funny and self-deprecating, but also empowering. And I think that is what people feel and see. I love it.
You're like the Dolly Parton comedy, aren't you? You know what? Me and Howie, we were saying before the season started, if we could find someone who takes something like food out of their bra, we're in. And be careful what you wish for, because it just happened. Okay, we're gonna vote. Howie?
Can I get a salad? I really like you. Yes.
You got 2 yes. I love you. That's 3.
Cara, with a K, you have 4 yeses.
Thank you so much!
So, Cara with a K. Yes, I live with this girl. And I remember the first day I went in because, so there were 4 of us living at this 2-bedroom apartment in the Grove. And the Grove is this awesome place and lots of it's kind of hip, lots of young people, so much. I mean, there's the whole Grove, like the mall, shops, food, the markets. Oh my God. It was just the best place to have an apartment. And so anyway, Cara with a K, her first question to me, because she was looking for a roommate. And obviously I didn't have a lot of money to spend on an apartment. And she's like, the first question she asked me, I came in, she's like, do you believe in Jesus? And I'm like, yeah, but not the way that you believe in Jesus, honey. We hit it off and I shared a room with her. And there was also 2 other girls. They're all from Texas. And so there was Beth, there was Leslie sharing one room, and then there was Cara and me. And And actually, so Beth was, you know, kind of quiet. She kept to herself, and she was really serious on her acting career. So she was always going to castings and calls for things like that. I don't really know the terminology for all that, but she was heavily involved with that. And she was this pretty skinny little thing. And then you had Leslie, and Leslie was just a beautiful, actually Leslie was also acting. She was, you know, a real kind of, she was more talkative and real soul of the earth girl. Like, I really love Leslie's company. And Beth too, you know, Beth was great too. And then there was Kara. Kara is just one crazy woman. And this girl would have me wet with tears. Like, she's so funny. And actually I was kind of disappointed that, you know, when I saw her America's Got Talent, she kind of bombed. I think when she went back for the next round, or however it works, she bombed. I did not get what the hell she was doing on that last segment or that round thing. I did not understand it. But she used to play, so when I was sharing a room with her, she used to play this drunken, like trailer trash woman. Oh hell, this girl would have me she'd have me in tears. She was just hilarious, so funny. My God, she would just bring the house down, but she's just as crazy as well. She's mad as a cut snake. She was very messy, and so she would shit me because she would leave her shit everywhere. So I didn't like her mess. So Kara was the one that told me that you could get the best orgasm by putting your hiney under the faucet of the bath and flood the tap. Honey, can't say I agree with you on that one. Oh my gosh, you know, with these girls, oh my gosh, where did we go? We'd go out to party anywhere. And wherever there was a good time, we would find it. And then we'd go for like coffee in the morning, maybe along Melrose Avenue, or I don't know where we went, but we'd always go somewhere nice and we'd just chill out. And oh, it was so good. It was so nice.